Hi everybody and welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison and today we'll be going over the markets and looking at if the markets are going to go up or down. Basically what we're going to do is look at Bitcoin to see if Bitcoin is going to go up or down, because Bitcoin is driving the whole market. At the moment there's no altcoins that have decoupled from Bitcoin. You're going to get some outliers that are going to kind of sprint up and kind of come down, but on the whole everybody's following Bitcoin just now. So when we say the markets, we're really talking about Bitcoin, but we'll look at the kind of wider market as well. We'll look at Ethereum, some of the altcoins as well. And if you want me to chart at the end of this video, some of your favorite altcoins, then let me know as well, and I'll just kind of look at some of the charts for your favorite altcoins. First of all, I'm just going to see if we're live or not and make sure the sound is okay and everything else is okay. Live or not, make sure yep, sound is okay. We've got a couple of people in, so I'm just going to jump in and see who got in. Mark Innes is in the house. Welcome to you, Mark. Good to see you, buddy. Han is in the house. Chris Edinburgh is in. Good to see you, mate. And we've got Kukla is in the house as well. Good to see you as well, Kukla. I had a chat with Kukla yesterday. So hope you're feeling good today, Kukla. Good to see you here. I've got a few other people in. If you're in just now, just hit that like button just now, and also just put a comment in the box just to say, hiya, how you doing? And just to say that you're in the house and kind of watching. Okay, we'll just see, we've got people in, we're all live just now. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I want to jump over and we'll have a look at what's happening in the markets just now. Okay, so we have an overall market capitalization just now. We're good, 1 second. Yep, overall market capitalization of $1.4 trillion at the moment, which has gone down 0.8% over the last 24 hours, which is not so good. We've got Bitcoin dominance of 44.33%. Obviously, Bitcoin going up. Number of coins is 8,311. Okay, so who's kind of on top just now? We've got Bitcoin $33,425. It has gone up. So we'll look at that. We'll look at the charts for Bitcoin after this as well. Any outliers just now? XDC network is up, Stacks is up, Celsius network doing well. I was looking at that earlier on as well. Waves is up a wee bit over the last 24 hours and 7 days as well. Got NEO kind of going up. I did say NEO a couple of weeks ago. NEO is going to make a surprise move. I still think it's going to make a bigger kind of move than this. It's not really moved in line over the last couple of months in line with everybody else. Got NEO 3.0 out as well. So I think that could have a possibility of moving up as well. Over the last 7 days, who's done well? XDC, Bitcoin Cash, ABC has went up 40%. Decred, Compound, I heard kind of Tyler talking about this, Chico Crypto, he was talking about Compound as well. Internet Computer, I still don't get Internet Computer if I'm being honest. I don't see the valuation of Internet Computer just now. I've tried. I've looked at it a couple of weeks ago and I thought I don't get it. I just don't get why the price is so high and why the market cap is so high. So if anybody could explain that to me, that'd be great. I think for the potential for it, possibly, but I just don't see it at the moment. Ethereum Classic gone up 21% over the last 7 days. Elrond has gone up. Shiba Inu has gone up as well, which is good. That's one of the old kind of meme coins. It's no longer a meme coin because it's doing a lot of work in the background just now. So I think Shiba Inu could still go up higher as well. Waves, Stacks is up 11%. Qtum's a really old one as well. That's been out since 2017, since I was around when I first got into it. So that's up and down. Maker is making moves 10% up. Bitcoin Gold, Crypto.com. So there's not that many up over the last 7 days either. So it's a kind of red market at the moment. And we'll go to the next bunch and see what's doing well there. So over the last 7 days, this is where when we're getting to 100 to 200 coins, this is where we're seeing the bigger kind of rises. So we've got Metadium, Axie Infinity. I think Axie Infinity could be a really good one for the future as well. In fact, we'll have a wee look at Axie Infinity just now. Because NFTs are going to become big again, I feel. Where was the highest? $10.67. It's not that far off its all-time high. So it's at minus 47% from its all-time high just now. So I think we're going to have to start looking at NFTs again, because I think they're going to come to the fore again very soon, probably towards the end of this month, going into August, September, and the last quarter as well. StormX, Olympus, Everpedia, status is up. Tokamark, some of these I've not heard of. Perp, I've looked at Perp in the past as well, that looks a good one. Titan Swap, Ton Crystal, Celo as well, that could do well. PundyX, still going, that's one we all kind of were in years ago, PundyX, and it just did nothing for ages. How's that doing actually? When did it start moving? So this is the max, is still not doing much when? 2021, so it's not giving us the data, the full data on that, if that's PundyX. That'll be the new PundyX. So yeah, that was one that was from the past as well. What else doing well? We'll go to the next. This is 200 to 300. That's where you get even bigger gains. So you're not really getting bigger gains. QuagChain, Power Ledger, Mediblock, Ampleforth, Ardor. So there's not that many. The full market is not really doing that much at all. So look at some of the large movers. And we're going to look at the volume here. Starlink, $40 million. I don't know if I trust that. What exchange is it on? Or Uniswap. So it's done $40 million in Uniswap. So that could be right. Well, it is right, obviously, if it's on Uniswap. So that is a massive amount. I've not heard of Starlink at all. But $40 million traded is unbelievable. God, it's a community-owned project. So is this a meme coin? And no dev tokens. LPB Star. That's quite hard on your eyes. That watching it. Stariel was launched by leashed deployer accidentally. What does that mean? Accidentally. Launched by leashed deployer accidentally. So 10 billion tokens. So it looks like a meme coin. So I would imagine that would be on DEX tools. I'll go to that. It'll probably be on top on DEX tools if it's trading that much. Starlink. Yeah, I think it's one of the meme ones, but $40 million, that is a lot. So, and we spoke about meme coins in the group. I've not banned meme coin talk in the group. It's just about new meme coins because a lot of people getting rugged and pulled, and the group was just being overtaken with meme coins. So I've kind of stopped the meme coin, or not stopped it, but we're still talking about the old ones. But what was happening is we were getting new people in the group, and straight away they were just kind of shilling their meme coins. So put a stop to that. Obviously we can still talk about meme coins in the group, and if you want to join the group, there's a link down below as well. So this looks like a new one as well. Yeah, it's number 2. It's number 2 there. Floki, we'll just have a look at these kind of memes. And I still think meme coins have got a place in crypto. It doesn't matter what you say, I still think they've got a place in crypto. Because what it does, when you're looking at meme coins as well, it shows you just how much money there is kind of floating about, that these people are investing $14 million daily volume for Floki. And this is a meme coin. 40 million for Stariel. Daily volume, it's calculating, it says 15 million, but it's over the last 24 hours, $40 million. So that shows you how much money, retail money there is. This is retail people that are in this. This is not the big investors that are into the meme coin. Well, some of them will be, but that is kind of funny money. So meme coins do have a place. Baby Floki, I know that done well as well. Calculating 707,000, not that much. But the volume on some of these is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Leash was doing well as well. 3,000 back down to 3,000. It did go up to 5,000. That's got 5 million volume as well. Just take a look at some of the comments if anybody else is in. Colin McLeod is in the house. Welcome to you. Good to see you. Brundle25 is in. Good to see you, mate. CK is in. WR is in. ICP is a huge scam. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get ICP at all, if I'm being really honest. I did look at it and I thought, wow, this looks to be amazing. It looks huge. It looks big. Why is it valued so much? And I couldn't understand why it was valued so much. And the market cap was so high. I just didn't understand it at all. G-Slick is in the house as well, Mark Innes. I don't often watch people do the charts, but when I do, I make sure to Steve. Ah, cheers, mate. I appreciate that. VRA, Q3 looks promising. NFTs coming. Yeah, NFTs coming for VRA as well. Lots going on in the background. VRA have just brought out the kind of Q2 report as well, and they're still working away in the background. Jason Brown is in, still holding my Pundy X. Excellent. I don't know if it is excellent. Is it excellent? It depends what price you got them at. Imran Chowdhury is in. Hey Steve, long time, mate. It has been a long time. It seems like BTC is now in stage D of the Wyckoff pattern. Next we'll pump to 42k. See, with regards to kind of looking at that, we're going to look at the charts just now, but with regards to looking at the Wyckoff pattern and everything else, depending on the story that you want to have, i.e. do you want Bitcoin to go up in price? If you do, you can get the Wyckoff to fit your kind of story. If you want the Bitcoin price to crash to 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, you can get the Wyckoff to fit that story as well. So it just depends. It's like statistics. They can be manipulated. It's same with the Wyckoff accumulation as well. So it can be manipulated to see what you want to see. So there's a confirmation bias there when you're looking at the Wyckoff, because you could say, okay, we're at the spring period of the Wyckoff accumulation. And I'll show you what I mean here. Wyckoff, Bitcoin due to, that is, I'll just get a picture up just now, images, has it got the names, spring. So this is on TradingView. This will show us. So this is talking about spring. This was talking about the low. They're saying they're around about, is this on Bitcoin? This is going back to October 2020. So even then they were talking about the Wyckoff and talking about the price as well and kind of correlating it. So this is just what I've got just now, and we're at 29,000, we're at the spring, then we're going back up here to maybe about 35,000, we're coming back down to test it, down about 30,000, going back up and back up again. So you can get the Wyckoff accumulation schematic to kind of really fit your story. So it could go up, it could go down, it just depends on what you wanted to do. So there's a confirmation bias there, so it's a psychological thing. What I've been doing looking now is kind of looking at more on-chain data, and this is data that's actually on-chain, it's on the blockchain just now. So I'm starting to learn more about that because that gives us hard and fast data just now. So we'll look at that a wee bit as well. I made almost 1 million off one meme. I won't mention, I would imagine it's Shiba Inu. If you made 1 million, Shiba Inu was one of the first ones, and it kind of went from 7 million market cap to about 3 billion market capitalization. And had I stayed in that at the very beginning, I'd have been up to 1 million as well, but I just didn't have the balls to stay in a meme coin. So I did make a lot of, a few thousand off of that though. I'm glad to see you back. Moved from California to Pro Crypto Texas. Excellent. I think we're going to see a lot of that as well. Just kind of talking about that or looking at that, Imran, is we're going to start to see, we're starting to see New York and kind of Miami being Bitcoin friendly. We're not starting to see New York being Bitcoin friendly, but the mayor, who's going to be running for mayor, is pro Bitcoin. So I think we're going to start to see migration within the US, and we're going to start to see immigration, people migrating from one country to another as well because of the Bitcoin policies or because of the crypto policies as well. El Salvador's kind of talking about you can come to the country, you're not going to get taxed on your crypto and stuff like that as well. Don't know if I'd like to move to El Salvador, but I think you're going to start to see that in the future as well. That's going to be very interesting to look at, the kind of migration of the population around the world I'd like to see that. Who's moved to the Cayman Islands? Who's done all that kind of stuff as well? I think Raul Pals. I think he's in the Cayman Islands just now. So I watch him quite a lot as well. So that's all that kind of stuff is really interesting to me as well. What's going to happen, because Bitcoin is not going away, and I think it's the only asset just now that is good for the future of our economy. I can't see anything else that touches Bitcoin or Ethereum or some of the other cryptocurrencies. So cryptocurrencies in general, but particularly Bitcoin just now, and Ethereum just now, for building the future of finance on as well. I can't see anything touching it. Obviously bonds are going to go to shit. Because of the inflation has gone up. I think we're going to have a crash in the markets, the stock markets. I think that's over kind of rated. As long as countries are producing money, or they're creating money, or making printing money all the time, stock markets will probably stay at the same levels and keep on going up because of printing money. But there has to be some kind of crash at some time, which is going to take crypto with it as well. But at the moment, everything is going up, and it looks okay on paper. But when you dig deep into it, you just go, whew, this is not good just now for the economy. But I do see Bitcoin and Ethereum as being one of the safe assets just now to hold. Not just Bitcoin and Ethereum, because you can go into the other cryptocurrencies, but when I talk about that's the two big ones, I think they're relatively safe. Just got another couple of comments before we go to the charts. Been holding PundiX for 2.5 years. Sold about 25% before the coin exchange, holding the rest. Spring Boom says Zebedee. Yeah, we've all got our stories with regards to the kind of Wyckoff. Trappers, can you share some thoughts on Common News, Steve? Where do you think it will go in the short term? Common News is a pawn kind of meme coin. Well, it's more than a meme coin actually. It's actually got brilliant tokenomics, and I wish it wasn't. I wish it wasn't a kind of porn token, because just of the porn industry and kind of the way, I don't know, just the kind of abuse and kind of the way women are kind of used and stuff like that. And there's an ethical side to it as well. But for me, the tokenomics of this token coming new is pretty amazing, to be honest. And what they're building just now, I think it could be a long-term bet, but there's a kind of fight, a battle. I mean, to say, well, it's a pawn token, you shouldn't really kind of be investing in it. And then there's the kind of money side of it. If you think it's going to go up, because I think it's going to 10x, 20x, 30x over the next couple of months if they do what they say they're going to do, and it comes off. So there's a kind of battle inside of me just now. It's a strange one. I've never been in that position before. But I'm invested. Kukla, Sportimon Go has been implemented cross-chain. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen you seen that in the group as well. Wendy and Ash is in. It's good to see from Tasmania. Good times ahead. Yes, I think so. Portugal's tax-free for crypto. See, that would be okay, because obviously I stay in the UK and Scotland. Moving to Portugal, I don't think I'd do it because I love Scotland so much. I don't think I could do it, but I would love to get Scotland as being a crypto-friendly country as well, and trying to rally kind of Nicola Sturgeon to make it crypto-friendly, because I think we could attract a lot of people into Scotland, and a lot of the economy could come to Scotland as well and make it independent. Right, okay, we'll jump into the charts just now, see where we are just now. Okay, as you know, I don't do technical, well, I do technical analysis, but very simple TA. I don't like to look at the, or go in depth on technical analysis. I don't think we have to. Really what we're looking for is supports, resistances. We're looking at a few patterns here, like we've got the descending triangle here just now, and the kind of breakouts. But mainly it's about supports and resistances, and about kind of volume as well. So first thing we notice here is we're low on volume. So if we're low on volume, it doesn't mean that much when we're low on kind of Bitcoin volume. It doesn't what we're seeing there, it doesn't mean as much as if there was kind of more volume coming into the markets. But on-chain data analysis as well kind of suggest that there's not as much Bitcoin on the exchanges at the moment, which could be the reason for the low volume and the kind of the movement as well. So this is not complicated at all. I've just got here, these lines here are the 7 EMA and the 21 EMA. When I see a crossover, then I know it's going to make a move to that kind of side. So if I see a crossover to the upside, I know it's going to make a move to the upside probably for the next few bars at least, unless it's a fake out, and obviously we get a lot of them. So we can see here, this is on the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart's good. You can do it on the 5-minute chart or the 15-minute chart, but if you're trading, if you're day trading, but if you're longer term trading, you can do it on the 4-hour chart, and it's very, very good. So 7 EMA is crossed down to the downside on the 21 EMA, which is in the red. You can see the red arrow here. It crossed down at 39,000, so you could have kind of made a short at 39,000, and then what you do to get back out is you look at the hourly and see when to get out, or you could just go, okay, it's gone down to 29,000. I've made a $10,000 move in Bitcoin, and depending on your leverage on that, if you're doing leverage, then that is a very good ROI on that. So you can trade on the 4-hour as well on the 7 EMA, the 721 EMA crossovers. So right now we've crossed to the downside, which is not a good sign obviously for Bitcoin, but this was after breaking out. If you look at the bigger picture, you can see here we've got a descending triangle. Very clearly we can see that. We've got the baseline here, we've got 3 or 4 touch points for the baseline here, which is round about the $30,500 level. We wicked down to 29,100. We've wicked down just below that as well, but 29,100 is the base kind of support for the next base support here. So 29,100 is a key level. If we break that, then we're not screwed, but we're going down to 24,000, then down to 19,000. I do not think we're going to hit that. I don't think we're going to go below 29,000. If we do, then we're definitely going to go lower to the $24,000 level or the $19,000 level if we go below that. I don't think that's coming. I do not think that's coming. We're hovering around this key support / resistance area just now of 33,500. So you can see we're kind of up and down in that area at the moment. One key thing we did do is we broke out of this long term. Well, it's not long term. I would say from the 10th of May, that's not long term. That's only a month and a half. But we broke out of that trend line or descending triangle, and that suggested a measured move to the upside to $45,000. Now that's still in play. This could be seen as a retest. Normally what happens when you come out of a trend line, you kind of go up here. So it went up to 36,700, and then you would buy on the breakout or you would buy on the retest. This to me is a retest. So it's coming down again. We're retesting. And I think normally the weekends we go down for Bitcoin because the trading, for some reason, it just kind of goes down. Obviously, institutions are not open and stuff like that as well. So the volume is less, but we normally kind of go down at the weekends for Bitcoin. But I'm suggesting that we're going to go up this weekend. And I think we're going to break out again of this descending triangle. This kind of structure is going to end around about the 12th of July. So we could break out there and go up to 45,000 and just kind of hover round about here. So we could do that. We might even go down to that $30,000 level again and then break out and go to that 45,000. And then once it does the measure breakout to 45,000, then we'll have to look at the structure again of what's happening with Bitcoin. As I say, TA, you can only look at the last kind of couple of weeks or whatever. The last few years, obviously, you can get good support levels because traders trade on the support levels, so you can look at that for the support levels. But we'd have to look at it anew from there because we can't say if it does go to there, what's going to happen from there. Obviously, we're looking at going up to $60,000 after that, but the first target would be that 41,000. This is a key resistance area, 41,343 or something like that. But I suggest that's what's going to happen just now. So this is a retest for me. It broke out of the descending triangle, and this is the retest of it just now. And it's good to buy on the retest. You either buy on the breakout or you buy on the retest. And I think this is a good area to look at. And now if it falls below the 30,600, that suggests obviously a continuation of the pattern, because a descending triangle is a continuation pattern. But when it breaks out, it does break out big. So it's a 45% chance it's going to go to the downside. 55%, no, the other way about, 55% chance to the downside, 45% chance to the upside. And I like trading to the upside on the descending breakouts. So on the descending triangle breakouts. I love triangles. I think they're brilliant patterns to trade. For the long term and the short term as well. So right now we're at $33,000. I want to look at a chart. We've been looking at this. This is a logarithmic logarithmic curve chart, or growth curve. And you can see here, I showed you this last week I think as well, we've got a low point to, if we're going towards the end of 2021, we've got a low point of 26,000 and a high point of 150,000. I still think that's in play. I still think we're in play there. So we're going to be between, which is a huge kind of margin, between 26,000 and 150,000. So I know that is a huge margin. But I'm thinking more to the upside. I still think we're going to hit $100,000 by the end of 2021. Lots of people disagreeing with that, but I do think we're going to get to 100,000 by then. What does that look like if we were to kind of go here? So kind of moving, and that's about round about there, 100,000. So this is a midpoint here for Bitcoin. So it's not that much above the midpoint. So I still think we're going to go to 100,000 for Bitcoin. That's kind of gut feeling as well. Providing there's no black swan events. You can see a black swan event here on this logarithmic growth curve. You can see we've stayed on the kind of lower end, and that's been the support level all the way up, apart from this kind of black swan event, which was a COVID event. Now, COVID might still come into play because COVID cases are going back up again all around the world because of the new variants, new strains of it. So there could be another black swan COVID event as well. We have to be wary of that. We have to think about that as well, which could affect the markets. I don't think so. I don't think so though, but we have to kind of watch out for that as well. Something might come from that. That's looking at the 3-day, and just look at the kind of daily. So that's it for Bitcoin. We'll just go back to chat just now. Imran, Steve, you're holding any of your old graveyard coins like BAB. I remember those days. Hope you're rehabilitated from that episode. Yes, no, I'm not holding BAB. Not holding any of the kind of old coins. Well, unfortunately, because they did go to a low point, I think it was $1 million market capitalization, then they went up to about 20 million or something. Something like that, I don't know. Thoughts on Binance and FCA in the UK? Binance with regards to the FCA, I put a post out on Twitter about the FCA and the hypocrisy of the FCA as well, because of what they did with London Capital Finance, what happened there. And the FCA, due to a direct lack of intervention from the FCA, they lost investors $236 million of pounds. It was not dollars, it was pounds. So it's that hypocrisy of the FCA, and it's that trying to control it. So what really they're doing, they're just forcing Binance, forcing Coinbase as well, to put notices up just to say, listen, we are not regulated by the FCA. So Binance has to do that. So they're not banning Binance, but it's coming. They probably will at some point just say, okay, you cannot operate in our country, and they'll stop British citizens from using Binance. With regards to Coinbase, I don't know so much about Coinbase. I think they've got, they're regulated to a degree, but I think Coinbase have done something similar as well. I've seen a notice from Coinbase. So it's not the ban, but you can see what's coming down the line. And they're stopping the BTC pensions and SIPs here in the UK. Now they're coming on exchanges. They're coming for it, but you've got to think about the reason why they're coming for that, because they see the control that they have slipping away. governmental controls or governmental organisations, they're slipping away. The control that they have, they can see it very, very slowly ebbing away just now, but that's going to rise. That control that they have is going to rise exponentially. And it's going to be we can see that across in the UK just now. There's a lot of banks closing in the UK. Around the world, there's a lot of banks closing around the world. And that's a slow kind of move away from this control that they have over us. And I think DeFi is going to change all that. It's not going to happen overnight, definitely not. But it is going to happen. It is happening. It has to happen. So these government organisations are going to throw everything at us. And I mean everything. You're going to get the government involved sideways from kind of government-controlled organisation, and from the government and the UK government and US government. You've seen Trump kind of spoke about it in the past as well, about kind of Bitcoin. You're going to get more of that to try and keep the control that they have. So that's coming. Make no mistake. The government are going to get much more involved in these kind of crypto exchanges. So the best thing we can do is have our own wallets. Have your own wallet, MetaMask, keep your private keys safe, so you can trade on this decentralized kind of exchanges. How can you control a decentralized exchange? You can't. So this is why decentralized exchanges are so good as well. So just think about why they're doing that. It's not that they're going to ban crypto altogether, because they cannot ban crypto altogether. It's just impossible to do. You cannot do it. And there's too much skin in the game now. Way too much skin in the game. And why would they do it as well? If you want a measure of control about something, if you want a measure of control over a currency like Bitcoin, over cryptocurrencies, what would you do if you had no control over it and you've got a different monetary system altogether? You would try and crash the new monetary system and use your old monetary system to crash this kind of new monetary system and get as much of the new monetary system as possible before it starts rising again. So in essence, you've got an element of control there. So if the FCA, the UK government, the US government, the European governments, the South American governments, if they all kind of crash kind of Bitcoin, if they do it at different times, they're going to grab more of the Bitcoin, so they've got some element of control for the future. That is what's happening, I believe. I do not believe that the government have not invested in crypto in some way, shape or form. It would be stupid, it would be irresponsible if they haven't. Totally irresponsible if they haven't done it already. So it's mental. So this is why I see these things happening just now. It's in order to crash the price of Bitcoin so they can grab more to get more control in the future, because they're losing the freaking control just now. Kukla, so's Hong Kong. Yeah, I know Hong Kong was. Rob Fiddler's in the house. Morning all. Crushed those likes. Thanks very much, mate. I'm still holding BAB and XRP for 3 years. I think Steve sold all his. Yes, I did. I got out of BAB in profit still, but I lost a shitload of money on BAB. You know, I've told the story loads of times. XRP, I think XRP, I've got a feeling XRP and Dogecoin, I've got a feeling that Dogecoin and XRP are really going to shoot up big time, and I mean big time, over the next year or so. Yeah, I think I'm starting to look more at XRP. I know they've got the SEC hanging over them, but I think this is a brilliant time to buy. I know you'd kind of be betting on it going up, but if you do think it's going to go up, I think this could be a brilliant time to buy XRP. Just like this time last year, I was so poor eating beans. How's it feeling this year? Just like Imran, the US will actually run out of money to pay their debt to the end of July. Janet Yellen just mentioned she's extremely worried that there could be a catastrophic risk to the economy. Covered for crash, yeah. Yeah, it's happening. You cannot print money like they're doing all over the world and not have a backlash from that. You can't do it. Mike D. Honda, nice seeing you back, Steve. Thanks very much, mate. Good to see you. Call McLeod. I stay in Inverness. Excellent. Love Inverness. We were kind of travelling through. No, it wasn't. We were going to go up to Inverness from Oban. We went to Oban the other day. Well, last week. We were going to go up to Inverness, but we didn't make it. Yeah, it's a beautiful part of the country. Just like Switzerland and Malaysia, also tax-free. Yes. Jason Brown, Isildur is looking for the best country to live in for. It's looking like the best country to live in for crypto holders. The thing is, if everybody kind of migrated over or emigrated over to El Salvador, then they could change the laws on a whim and just say, okay, you're going to get taxed on it. We're going to turn all your Bitcoin into the US dollar, which is the other legal tender over in El Salvador. So yeah, it'd be strange. Okay, let's look at some other charts as well. This is Ethereum. Ethereum is currently $2,035 just now. You know how I feel about Ethereum. I've got Ethereum in my pension pot before the government banned what I've got. It's an ETN, an exchange traded note. So I managed to get in there before the FCA banned it. So $2,034. I see this going up in the future as well because of the whole DeFi story and what they've got going on. So we can see in this kind of orangey zone just now, we're kind of trading sideways just now with regards to Ethereum. We've not decoupled away from Bitcoin yet. It'd be great to decouple away from Bitcoin. We've been talking about that for years. It's not happened. We're looking to move more up to this green zone, around about the $2,500. Once we get past the $2,500 for Ethereum, that's when we're going to see a big, big rise again up towards the 3,300 level, then up towards all-time highs again at 4,500. Then towards the end of the year, we're going to get that $10,000. This red zone here for Ethereum is obviously we don't want to fall below that, around about the $1,700 or $1,670. If we fall below that, then we could go all the way down to $1,400. And if we fall below that, we're kind of screwed if it goes down to $871. I don't think that's going to happen either. Same kind of story as kind of Bitcoin. I don't think that's going to fall below $29,000 in Bitcoin. Same as I don't think Ethereum is going to fall below $1,670. But we'll see. You never know. You never know what will happen. This again is a logarithmic growth curve of Ethereum. And it's a shorter one, obviously. So Ethereum, towards the end of the year, we've got a narrative there between, say, $650 and up to $9,000. I'm still going for $10,000 for Ethereum towards the end of the year, with London hard fork coming out towards the end of July, or this month. There's going to be all the changes going to be with regards to London hard fork as well, and what's going to happen. Just loads of things going on with ETH 2.0 obviously coming out. It's not just about the staking, it's not just about that, but that's a big part of it. Already 5% staked in ETH 2.0 just now. That means 5% of the whole of kind of Ethereum supply is staked at the moment, and will be for the next probably year or so before you're allowed to unstake it again. So yes, I think Ethereum's still going up to around about the $10,000 level. I think this month is going to be the start of a big move for Ethereum as well. However, Bitcoin has to move first. It all depends on kind of what's happening with Bitcoin as well. This is kind of what I was talking about. So I'm on sentiment just now, and the supply on the exchanges. So this is the supply as a percentage of the total of Ethereum out there just now. The supply on the exchanges is going down all the time for Ethereum. So we can see here we're down to about 17% of the total supply is on the exchanges at the moment. So when the price goes down, not when the price goes down, but when the supply on the exchanges goes down, that's when we see this the price of Ethereum going up. So we can see here, and this green, we'll take this one off just now. We can see here as the supply comes down, we can see the price of Ethereum going up. Obviously, there's lower supply, so it's going to be a higher price. So the supply is going down all the time. We have got spikes up there which correlate almost perfectly to the price of Ethereum as well. But we're going down again, so the price is going up. So we're down around about 18%. Just now we have been as low as about 17%. Just going to see over the last year what that looks like, or all time. It's not coming up for all time. We'll go last year. Just do that. So that's a nice, this is the kind of stuff I'm looking at for on-chain data analysis as well. But again, you could interpret that in different ways. So it depends on how you interpret it. So, but that kind of is clear to me that as the supply goes down on the exchanges, that the price is going to go up. And it could be that it's because they're coming up to stake it or something like that. It doesn't mean to say that they're going to buy it or sell it, but there's a clear kind of correlation between the price and the supply on the exchanges as well. So that's quite interesting. Same with Bitcoin as well. And we'll look at that as well, actually. See if we can get the inflow. On-chain exchange inflow. So again, is the exchange inflow. Now the exchange inflow, when you're looking at on-chain data analysis as well, the exchange inflow means that if you're sending Ethereum over to the exchange, it's more than likely that you're going to sell it. And that's why you send it over to the exchange. This is coming down as well. You can see spikes, but the exchange inflow is coming down all the time as well, which could suggest a spike or a move up for the price of Ethereum as well. We could see it here. It was coming down and you could see the price going up as well. Again, it's not direct correlation. You can't say for sure that that's why the price is going up, but you can make a kind of soft correlation there as to the reason why Ethereum price could go up as well. So the exchange inflow is going down, so the price of Ethereum could go up. We're seeing that with Bitcoin as well. And we'll take this off just now. So this is the supply on the exchanges as a percentage of the total supply. As that goes down, we can see there's a correlation there as well. And if we go to the inflow is going down, so we could see a price moving back up as the price of Bitcoin is kind of being transferred, or the movement of Bitcoin is being transferred to the exchanges. It would suggest that there's going to be a sell-off kind of there, but that's coming down as well. So we could see a move up of Bitcoin. We'll go the last 3 months. So supply is going down at the moment. Oh, sorry, the inflow is going down at the moment, so we could see a price movement to the upside for Bitcoin as well. So it's just interesting to look at that. Obviously, you can interpret it in different ways. Some of the other coins I'm looking at is got Head and Shoulders there, but Luna, I'm looking at that just now and liking the look of that. I'm in Luna just now. That's $5.68. Obviously, it all depends on Bitcoin at the moment. Where is Bitcoin? Is it going down again? We'll take this off. Yeah, it's moving down, 32,916. We'll go to the hourly. So it's kind of short down since I've been on air, about $400. So you can see this movement in between up and above and kind of below the $33,500. So Luna is one. That follows Bitcoin almost. There's almost a direct correlation there. So I know if Luna's going down there, that means the price of Bitcoin's going down. Verasity is nearly 1 cent just now. Verasity doing good things at the moment. I think this is Q2. So company updates. They've got a chief revenue officer come on board and a chief marketing officer. You don't hire people unless you know there's going to be, especially a chief marketing officer as well. I'm going to go see if it's going to have a look there. Yeah, I'm trying to see where she's from again. Yeah, she has worked with names like HL7, Consensus, and Cardano Foundation as well. So that's Miriam Mahoop has come on as CMO. So this is in Q2, obviously. They've done a lot of things in Q2. Chief Revenue Officer. They've made simple changes towards the kind of Vera wallet as well. Means you don't just have to stake 10,000 VRA. You could. It used to be a minimum of 10,000. I don't know if they've actually changed that yet. We've reduced the minimum amount required for staking, to 10,000. I thought they were going to reduce it from 10,000. So yeah, that is in place just now. Rewards SDK as well. Community members requested more transparency about rewards. They've done that. Esports Fights Club, Riot Games as well, and PUBG Mobile for the Ultimate Warrior Showdown. So they've got kind of tournaments in place that are run by Verasity as well. And I've been looking at Verasity. When you go into Verasity or Vera TV, VeraWallet.tv, you can watch videos and get Verasity tokens as well. So I was just testing it. So I was watching 30-second videos, and you get one Verasity, which is 1 cent, which means you could watch 120 videos in an hour and get 120 Verasity, which is $1.20, which is not good for the hour. But if they were to go up to $1, that's $120 for the hour. So I don't know how they'll kind of do that in the future once the price starts going back up again. But just very interesting. It's dead easy to do as well. There's a few things I would change, but I do like what Verasity are doing. I'm not married to the project. A couple of people suggested that I'd said in the past, don't marry your projects, and I'd seem to have married Verasity. I haven't. I just see the potential in Verasity. They've not reached that potential yet, and I think they will reach it over the coming months and years in the future, and I think it could be worth at least $1. I'm still talking about $3 or $5 or something in the future, but we need to wait and see as well, because things could change in the future. But definitely not married to it. I just see the potential with it. Just like a lot of the other projects as well, with regards to kind of Luna and projects like that as well. Okay, some news that I was looking at as well. German law could lead to 415 billion crypto investment. This is a new German law that was passed that basically states that a fund manager can have 20% of their portfolio in cryptocurrencies. Now, Germany kind of runs $2 trillion worth of funds when they're kind of doing the fund management. So they can have 20% of that, which is about $400 billion. So that could be $400 billion inflow into, I would imagine, Bitcoin and Ethereum to start with, and there'll be smaller inflows into maybe the top 10 or top 20 cryptocurrencies as well. Majority of that will be, I would imagine, in Bitcoin and Ethereum, with the majority being in Bitcoin, I would imagine. But it doesn't mean to say everybody's going to jump in. It just depends if fund managers want to do that. They've got the option to do that, so they're allowed to hold up to 20% of the funds. And I would imagine you could jimmy that as well, or you could kind of change that around if you had more than 2 funds. So there's be ways around that to get more than that. But 20% of the portfolio can be invested into cryptocurrency. So that's good for cryptocurrency as a whole, and good for Bitcoin as well, which is good for the market. This seems interesting to me. I'm always kind of interested in the CBDCs. That's the central bank digital currency. I'm always interested in that, how they're going to work it, how they're going to actually play the CBDC. I don't think that's going to work ultimately, because if they just use it like their own currency, that means they can produce more, print more, basically, just like their own currency. I don't see the point in that at all. What's the point? Apart from making it easier for transmissions, for sending money and kind of money in and out. I don't really see the point if they're going to use it just the same as money, apart from the ease of use. So we'll see what happens with that. It's going to be interesting looking at CBDCs in the future. But Ukraine has passed a law treating its CBDC same as cash. They've not produced it yet. They've got a prototype, but they've not produced it yet. And they tested it on the Stellar Lumens blockchain as well. So we'll see what happens with that in the future. It's going to be interesting. JP Morgan says Ethereum upgrades could jumpstart 40 billion staking industry. So, flying in the face of crypto skeptic, JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon, 2 senior analysts at his firm, argued in a report this week that as blockchains running more energy efficient networks than Bitcoin and Ethereum increase in popularity, a new way to make money called staking will gain traction as a source of revenue for institutional and retail investors alike. Imagine just now the retail investors, not the retail investors, the institutional investors. When the stock markets go down, typically what happens is the institutional investors will hedge and go into gold or go into bonds. You'll see the bond market going up. And bond markets are kind of producing just now about 2% kind of interest rate. And they think that's brilliant. 2% a year is fantastic for them, because if you put $1 billion in there, you're going to get $200 million back. So 2% is fantastic. So imagine if those kind of institutional investors are saying, okay, we're going to park $1 billion on the DeFi, in the DeFi space, and we're going to get 10% back. 10% of $1 billion obviously is going to be, it's $100 million, so it's not $200 million for 2%, so it's $100 million for 10%, as opposed to $20 million for a 2% on the bonds. So this is going to be really, really big for the future as well. And this is how the institutional money is going to start to come into that. When they see this is stabilized, the DeFi is stabilized, there's not going to be hacking, how safe it is and things like that as well, then there's going to be more and more money coming into the DeFi space for staking, for savings, for loans as well. And I was thinking about this as well. I don't know if you've thought about this. Sorry, I know I'm going on just now, but just had a lot of thoughts over the week. I just thought, okay, if you're buying Bitcoin and you just hold Bitcoin, because a lot of people are saying, well, I'm just going to hold it. I'm forever going to hold it. And I thought, what's the point of holding it? If you're not going to be able to spend it, what's the point of holding it? How can you use that money? And I thought about it. I thought the way to use the money is to buy Bitcoin. Say you buy one Bitcoin, it's worth $30,000. And what you do is you stake it. You stake Bitcoin, but you also borrow money on Bitcoin. So if you borrow money on Bitcoin and say it's 5% APR or 7% APR, as long as Bitcoin is moving up above that 7% APR, then you're never going to lose. So that way you get to keep your Bitcoin, you get to live just as normal because you're borrowing money on the back of Bitcoin, on the Bitcoin that you have. So you can still buy things because you're going to borrow money in dollars or kind of pounds, whatever your country is. You're going to borrow money in that. So this might sound really stupid of me because I didn't really realize this before. Because I've always thought about cryptocurrencies and I've always thought about them kind of going up in value and I would sell them in the future for my currency, which is the British pound. But I never really understood it when people said, I'm going to hold Bitcoin forever. I thought, what's the point of that? How are you going to spend your money? But you could buy houses with Bitcoin collateral. So you could use Bitcoin as collateral and say, okay, I want to borrow money on my Bitcoin collateral. So if you're getting a mortgage just now, we can get mortgages in the UK just now. I don't know what it's like in the rest of the world, but we can get mortgages at 2.5% APR just now. So if I got a mortgage based on my Bitcoin, I got on the collateral from Bitcoin, I would never have to sell the Bitcoin. I could still get a mortgage on that, and I can also get a loan for the Bitcoin that I hold as well, just to live comfortable, but I can get mortgages on it and stuff like that as well. And I finally realised the power of Bitcoin. I finally realised the full extent of the power of cryptocurrencies as well, because you could do this with Ethereum. If you're holding Ethereum, you don't need to sell it. You just get a loan based on it, and as long as Ethereum is outpacing the loan APR, then you're golden. And I thought it kind of blew my mind, and it's probably one of those moments where I go, God, I've been so stupid. I didn't understand. Well, it's not that I didn't understand, I just didn't realise how it worked because I've been looking at it from a totally different angle. This kind of changes everything for me, and this is when I looked at it and I said, this is just going to blow up hugely in DeFi, and Ethereum being at the forefront of that as well. So that was just a thought I had this week as well. What else? Former Bitcoin, I'm going to have to show you the other side as well. Former Bitcoin bull now predicts crash to $10,000. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. We're going to see this a lot. Depends on what your story is. So this is during his recent interview with Stansberry Research. Clem Chambers, CEO of ADVFN, which is an old kind of money market kind of website. It's been around for years and years. I've used them in the past as well for stock market investing as well. Forecasted the Bitcoin could crash to $10,000. So that's the other side of it. So you're going to see stories like that as well. Why are you going to see stories like that? You've got to ask yourself why. And I think with all the news that came out with China, with Elon Musk, just everything that's been going on with Bitcoin still at $33,000 just now, or around about $33,000, I think is held up extremely well. Under all the barrage of bad news that we've kind of had with regards to Bitcoin, is still held up to $33,000 level and only gone down to as low as $29,000. This is why I still think we're going to go up to $100,000. So, enough of me talking, and we'll get back to some of the chat. Imran Chowdhury, what's even more mental is China banning miners, effectively shooting themselves. I don't think they ban miners, to be honest. I think that's a kind of cover-up story. I honestly don't think they ban miners. shooting themselves in the foot by shifting that hash rate to the west. They will realise their mistake in years to come. I think if they have really banned miners, and I don't think they have, I think they would kind of realise that. I don't think the Chinese government is stupid enough to do something like that. I don't know. I don't believe it though. I just don't believe they banned the miners totally, as the news has kind of portrayed. Akeem, agree with you on a good cycle for XRP this cycle. Yes, I think XRP are going to go. WooTrade looks fantastic as well. Spoke about WooTrade in the past. And VRA targets this cycle, sir. WooTrade, I would say, easily going to $2. That's coming out soon. There's more and more getting kind of done with WooTrade as well, so I can see that easily going to $2. It's reached $2 already. I can see it surpassing that, but I'm going to say very, very, very conservatively $2 for that, probably $3. More like $5, but I'm trying to be as conservative as possible. VRA targets for this cycle, for the end of the year, it depends. VRA are very much driven just now with news. Just now, we know they're working in the background, we know that, but it's going to be news that drives Verasity up in price. If and when we get listed on Huobi, if and when we get listed on Binance, then that's going to put the price up to 10 cents, 15 cents. If and when we release news on big partnerships, and I mean big partnerships because Esports Fight Club is still being tested. This is what it's all for. It's all being tested for the data and ease of use and to make it more functional with a better UI, etc. Then when the big partnerships come out, then we can see it going up to 30 cents, 50 cents, $1, $1.50, and moving on up for Verasity as well. But it's all dependent on news. If Verasity didn't release any news on partnerships or any more listings, it's going to stay where it is just now. So they're working in the background, and I would imagine they have to bring out news about partnerships. Otherwise, what's the use of POV? There's proof of view. There's no functional use for it if they're not going to do a partnership. And this is what Esports Fight Club is about, to kind of show the data on that. I don't think it's going to be used for that. But it could be that esports is going to be a thing that's used for in the future as well, which wasn't originally intended, I don't believe. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, but if they do release partnerships, we're going to see $1 or 50 cents, $1 at least, but it depends on the news for Verasity, that's one thing. CK, what do you make of Shibans? I haven't looked at it. I've not really got time just now. This year, Steve, is heaps better. Yes, this year I do think we're going up this year. El Salvador will become the Switzerland of South America. Possibly, and I think the first mover as well, and I think they've got a lot of attention. So a lot of eyes will be on El Salvador just to see how they work it. But right now, the way they're working it just now looks sound. Mark Innes, there's rumours of Australia looking to approve a Bitcoin ETF according to Lark. Yeah, I've seen that as well. So they could be moving like Canada to get in. I think Canada have got a couple of ETFs just now. So we're going to get this. We're going to get the ETFs soon in the US. We're going to get in the UK. We're going to get in Europe as well. So that is coming for Bitcoin as well. There's loads of good news coming out for Bitcoin, and this is why I don't think we're going to go down to those kind of levels that other people are looking at, 16,000, 24,000, whatever. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Kukla, your thoughts on Bidao? Bidao is something I'm invested in just now. We'll look at Bidao just now. So I kind of spoke about Bidao before. We're in this kind of falling wedge with Bidao at the moment. And I was invested with Bidao on the ICO, and it didn't really do much. And they shifted things because they said they were going to come out on Ethereum, or they said they were going to come out on the kind of Binance Smart Chain, and then they came out on Ethereum. They changed it back because everybody was using Ethereum. Now they're going to go back to kind of Binance Smart Chain. They're going to do other things as well. So I kind of got out in the past. But recently I've been talking to a few people, and it seems that Bidao are now close to releasing, which is going to be, they're kind of testing it phase just now, but once they do release, I think it could have a breakout. So they had this kind of falling wedge. It broke out of the falling wedge. When I seen that, kind of looking at that, I thought, oh, this could jump up by about 100%. So a major breakout to about 4.4 cents just now for Bidao. So we're at, 2.1 cents for Bidao. And where are we with regards to Bidao? We've not got a market capitalization there, so we're going to do the full market capitalization. In fact, we can do it on DEX Tools. DEX Tools is a brilliant tool, by the way. I'm using it more and more. The only thing, I don't know why they've stopped doing that, but they've not got the market capitalization anymore, so we're going to have to do it the old way just now. So 21 cents, star 0.021. So we've got 55 million. 55 million just now is the market capitalization of Bidao. And that's the full kind of market capitalization just now. So it's going to be lower than that. Obviously the circulating supply is lower. I don't know off the top of my head what the circulating supply is. But I do like, it's never really moved as well. We can see it's down 54% from its all-time high, but it's only up 196% on its all-time low. So it's just kind of went level across the board. So I got in, I think it was about 2 cents, and I got out about 2 cents as well. So I didn't lose money on it. But I'm back into Bidao just now. Imran Chowdhury, we have to remember the blow-off top phase has yet to come. That tells me the bull run has not completed. Every bull run, yes, the kind of 4-year cycle for Bitcoin as well, a 4-year cycle for the kind of crypto markets as a whole has not completed yet. If you're looking at the 4-year cycle and you put credence on the 4-year cycle as well, and I do put credence on the 4-year cycle. It looks to have so far played out over the last kind of 10 years or something. So I still I believe that we've still not hit the top yet either. What's your idea for the ETC Magneto hard fork above $100? I honestly don't know too much about it. VRA is a great buy, Steve. Stay awesome. Thank you very much, mate. I do think so as well for the potential of it. But as I said, it has to release kind of news and has to have partnerships as well for this to kind of keep going. Just now, it's not, the momentum has been lost in VRA just now, but I'm still holding. As I said, I've not married it until the narrative changes, then I'm still holding Verasity for the sheer potential of it. It's huge, huge, huge potential. Danny Nolanzil, I've not got time to look at charts, sorry mate, I'll just go down the comments. Gas fee for the VRA wallet is still a tad high. The gas fee? There's not gas fee for the VRA wallet. For Vera wallet, you just stake it and there's no gas fee. I'm trying to think if there's a gas fee when I've been staking. No, there's no gas fee for it. Stay Awesome Sailor is an interesting low cap. Yes, I do like that one as well, and I think that could kind of blow up soon as well. And that's 20 million CK2. Yeah, 20 million. So I kind of corrected myself there, and you're talking about the 2%. WR, exactly. You borrow against it as collateral. See, that was a revelation to me, and that might sound really, really stupid to you. It probably does, but it was a revelation to me about how can you live if you're just holding your Bitcoin, if that's all you hold. But now I understand. Canadian EV maker Daymac reveals prototype car capable of mining crypto. I think Tesla will do this eventually. That'd be interesting. Jason Brown, I think Celsius will do very well in a bear market. Yes, Celsius is an interesting one. I've looked at it a couple of weeks ago, and it's looking more interesting because of the whole DeFi story as well. Bitcoin crypto, 5 to 10 minutes daily update. DAG, any reason it's pumping? Hardly no retrace. DAG is just a powerhouse. Constellation, I've been in and out of that. I'm out of it just now, I have to be honest and say just now, because as I was going down, I kind of sold out a lot of the alts. So I'm out of it at the moment, and I was going to be running a node for that. I've tried to get a node in the past, but just because it was up and down, just like with the markets, is one of the ones I came out of. But I still love the company as a whole and what they're doing. I think they're going to be huge. Chris Edinburgh, DEX tools show the MC on front page. Oh, on the front page, right. I'm just going to see that. Where does it show? Oh, there it is, there. Total market capitalization, right, I'm with you. It used to show on here. I'm used to looking on there. That's why I've not seen it there. That's great. Thanks for that, mate. And Jason Brown, why so little views? Are you being shadow banned? I appreciate all the support, Stephen. I've been a long-term follower. Thank you very much, Jason. I don't know. I think it's because I'm only going live once a week. So YouTube are just not kind of sending out the notices to everybody that's subscribed to the channel. I think there's only 5,500 subscribers, but don't get a lot of views at all. Just now, it doesn't really bother me. I'm not trying to be a big YouTuber. I just like talking to the group once a week. So it's not that big a deal. G-Slick, there is a withdrawal fee for VRA, Steve, after staking. Ah, right. So I've never withdrew yet. So I don't know. So I need to check that out for the withdrawal fee. Okay, I'm going to leave it there just now. Thank you very much for watching. Really appreciate it. And I hope you found it kind of interesting. And my revelation kind of interesting as well. So I'm going to look more into that as well. And see what I can do with that. I'm not into the yield farming and stuff like that as well, but I'm definitely into staking and borrowing now as well. That is really interesting to me for the future. Okay, I'll leave it there just now. Thank you very much. Have a brilliant weekend, whatever you're doing. Until next time, namaste. Take care. Bye now.